I'm making here, back to carrots, a carrot cake. And I'm sure you all are familiar with this idea, but if you're not, if you don't make cakes that start with fruit or vegetables, you are in for such a treat to try them, because not only they hold their moisture well, because there's so much liquid in the fruits and vegetables, but they're incredibly easy to make. So I often wonder why people even bother with cake mixes, because as you can see, this is going to take no time at all. We're starting with a little bit of butter and a little bit of a neutral oil, like canola oil, vegetable, whatever. The oil is traditional, but the butter gives it just a little bit of additional flavor. And I'm going to add, okay, so that's a 1/4 cup of each of those. And this is a cup of sugar. So that's pretty easy. And we're going to add 2 eggs. One at a time. I guess you could add them together, but that would be messy. It's messy anyway. Okay, there go our eggs. Now I'm going to push it down a little bit just to make sure everything gets blended. My mixer is not new and it tends to need a little assistance from time to time, but I don't mind assisting it. I'm happy to have it. Okay. Then we're going to stir in a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The cinnamon goes really nicely with the carrots. You could probably use ginger if you'd like that too, because that goes beautifully with carrots also. This is just how my cousin Deb, thank you for the recipe, Deb, always made the cake. When she was in college, she worked in food service, and they made a larger version of this cake all the time because it was extremely popular. And it's always been popular in my household. So that's kind of that part. Now, a cup of flour. In you go. Meanwhile, of course, you're preheating your oven to 350 degrees so that it will be ready for your cake. And you're greasing and flouring a cake pan. Now, I used my small 6-cup bundt pan. If you do not have such a thing, you can do a couple of things. Number one, you can double the recipe and put it in a 9x13 pan or a larger bundt pan. Then obviously you're going to have to bake it longer. Or I believe you could put the same recipe in an 8x8-inch square pan. I'm not sure how long it'll take to cook, possibly a little bit longer than the bundt, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But you're going to just do the toothpick test to see if it's ready. Okay, now that's looking a little thick, but then we add, this is 1.5 cups of grated carrots. I just used my box grater, so it took no time at all. And that's about half a pound of carrot. And they're so beautiful. And now some people put in pineapple, some people put in raisins. I don't bother with those, but you may certainly do anything that, you know, makes you happy and makes your carrots happy. And that just gets gently stirred in, as did the flour. We're not beating in the flour because the flour doesn't want to be abused, and neither do the carrots. There. So that gets put into your greased and floured pan. Now, I often use one of those sprays that has both the grease and the flour in it, just because that's really easy, and greasing and flouring can be a little messy. And then we have our adorable little cake. I'm giving you instructions on the website for how to make the basic cream cheese frosting, which I can tell you very quickly is just cream cheese, butter, confectioner's sugar, and vanilla. Really not hard. You want to just be sure that you don't use too much sugar, because you don't want to overwhelm this cake or the icing with sweetness. You want that little bit of tang from the cream cheese to really make your cake pop. And I'm just going to cut a piece. Maybe my camera person would like one. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? Very carroty, very yummy, and we can pretend that it's really, really, really good for us. Then we'll put a daffodil next to it. But I was just told yesterday, never eat the daffodils. And that's it. Happy eating, happy cooking, happy spring.